Hi everyone, I hope you are well. So my name is Daniella, I am a watercolour artist and YouTuber here in Amsterdam, and in today's video I want to talk about the cons of living in Amsterdam, and this is the follow-up video to the pros of living in Amsterdam, which is a video that I did a few weeks ago and I'll link to in the description below. So without further ado, let's get straight into this. The weather. So the weather here is pretty unpredictable, and sometimes it almost feels like you're getting all seasons in one day. And on the very extreme days when the weather is like super unpredictable, you can be looking out your window and it's like there's a blizzard going on. 5 minutes later, bright beautiful sunshine, and then 5 minutes after that, like it's cloudy with rain, and you're thinking, should I go out today? I am not sure. And yes, you know, we do have various weather apps here which are fairly reliable, but they can't account for all the variation in the weather. So inevitably you will at some point get caught out, and you just have to be prepared for it. So I was speaking to a friend of mine about the weather here, and you know, she said to me that actually it wasn't always so varied. Like, this has only happened in the last few years, which I think is very interesting. And if you are living in the Netherlands, what do you make of that? You know, let me know in the comments below. The food. So let's talk about the food here, and I'm a little bit nervous to talk about this because I know it is a touchy subject sometimes for some people, but let's talk about it anyways. And before I start, I wanted to mention that my most recent point of comparison is Malaysia, and in case you didn't know, Malaysia take their food very seriously. I kid you not. And you know, whether you are eating a cheap meal right up to a expensive meal, the average, how do I say this? The overall standard and quality of the food on average is extremely high. Man, I miss the food in Malaysia. Coming back to Amsterdam, I have found that you know, there are some amazing places to eat at. I have definitely had some amazing meals here, but you have to find these places. You know, it's almost like they're kind of hidden gems. I find that there is a lot more variation in the standard and the quality of the food that you can get here. Cost of living. So the cost of living refers to things like rent, groceries, utilities, that kind of thing. And it is a massive topic in itself, which I'm not going to go into detail here. In summary though, the overall cost of living is high. It's certainly not the highest in the world, but it is still relatively high. English. So I mentioned this was a pro in my previous video, but it is also very much a con. So when I go out and I'm trying to practice speaking in Dutch, whether it's in a cafe or a shop or something, people will automatically switch into English, and that makes it tricky because the temptation to continue speaking in English is very much there. The other thing is that there is the temptation to not learn Dutch at all, because you can definitely get by in Amsterdam just with English, but it's not something I would recommend, and this is a topic that I've covered in detail in another video which I will link to in the description below. Please hit that like button if you are enjoying this video. Thank you so much. Lack of public toilets. So I feel a bit weird including this here, but genuinely it is a bit of a con, and it's a curious, I'll call it a curious problem to have, because when you are out and about, you basically have two options. You can either, what's going on with my hair? You can either, one, go to the train station, or two, go to like a cafe or a restaurant. And you know, if you are already eating or drinking at a cafe, yeah, of course you can go to the loo, but otherwise, generally speaking, you will have to pay anywhere between 25 cents and €1 to go to the toilet. And I also went to a shopping mall in Amsterdam, and the toilets cost €1, and I was really surprised by that. I think it's really weird that you have to pay for the toilet here, especially if you are in a shopping mall. So during the various COVID lockdowns that we have had, this situation has been made significantly worse, because whilst cafes and restaurants have been allowed to do takeaway, they're not supposed to allow you to go to the toilet. So yeah, it sucks, it totally sucks. So I just want to point out that sometimes on this channel I get comments from people who really hate Amsterdam, like with a passion, and I see their comments and it's just, these comments are sort of, I don't know, like blind rage against Amsterdam, and they're not constructive or useful comments either, I have to say. So I want to clarify that I'm not one of those people. Like, I love Amsterdam, I love this city, and I love living here. So yeah, I just wanted to say that. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and hopefully I will see you next time. Goodbye.